Hi, I'm Paddy Pimblett and I'm gonna go undercover on the internet. It's actually me. Let's see some YouTube comments. This one always makes me laugh. What does Cody Gavin mean when he says Paddy is a sorcerer? I actually bumped into Cody in Vegas in December and he mentioned it to me and we both had a laugh about it. Where I'm from in Liverpool, Merseyside, we get called Scousers, and obviously with my accent being so different to the American accents, he's thought when I've said in my post-fight interview we're Scousers, we don't get knocked out. He must have thought that I said we're sorcerers, we don't get knocked out. So he called me a sorcerer on a podcast and it's been a meme ever since, and it always tickles me, and it also tickles Cody, so it makes it even funnier. Next question. I am 16 and all the MMA courses around me are too expensive. How do I train MMA? Whereabouts in the country are you, lad? Let us know. I'll be able to send the gym over to you, what's local to you, what's not too bad. In our gym in Next Generation, we offer a 2-week free trial to people that want to come in and see what classes they like and stuff like that. So I'd always recommend that you try and find a gym that would give you at least like a week free trial, see if you enjoy it. And then obviously you can make your mind up whether you want to continue going there. It makes me think also of when I was younger, because as you said, I'm 16 and everything's too expensive. I started training when I was 15. My mum and dad couldn't afford to give me money for my training either, so I paid for it all myself. I'd sell Lucozades and chocolate bars and crisp in school, and then I'd use the profit from that money to pay me £60 a month for Next Gen. You know, I mightn't have even been doing MMA now if I weren't a little bit of an entrepreneur. Sorry I was late to the party, my brother. Would just like to ask, how do you conduct yourself in moments of fear? You are extremely confident in that aspect, in my opinion. That's something I struggle with. I just want for me to be me. Even when I train in the gym, I know there is others that can do more, but I don't want that to stop me from going to the gym. Lad, you've always got to believe in yourself. I think that's my biggest asset, more than any physical attribute I've got, or that I'm good at jiu-jitsu or wrestling or striking. It's the fact that I'm believing myself more than anyone else. Every single fight or moment I go into where I need to bring something out of me, that's the mindset I use. Replied, Paddy, food or MMA? You can only choose one. Very good question, but I'm saying MMA, lad. As you can see at the minute, I'm not too fat. I'm walking around at a nice weight. All I can think about is fighting. Because of that reason, I'm not overindulging in food. Cheat meal in Liverpool, we love salt and pepper chicken, lad. Like, salt and pepper chicken is one of our go-tos, like salt and pepper chicken wings or salt and pepper chicken pieces with fried rice and chips, barbecue sauce on top. Replied, Instagram. Dan Redmond says, so that's my question. Have you learned to not give a bollocks what people think of you? It's an art, really. Yeah, especially when you get put in a position like I get put in myself, where stuff gets put on social media, stuff on YouTube, stuff's everywhere of me, so everyone's entitled to say what they like about you. So yeah, I don't give a flying F what anyone thinks about me. I'm me. If you don't like it, leg it. Posted. So this next one is an Instagram picture of me and Mike Tyson, and it says, did you try his weed? Of course. We went in the back after it and smoked a blunt together. He's a cool dude. Mike spoke to me about a few different things, obviously, and one of the main things he said to me is don't let people take advantage of you, like what happened to him in his fighting career. You know what I mean? That was something that he said to me that I won't ever forget. Don't let anyone take advantage of you. You're the one what's earning the money, no one else. Next picture here is me and Laura in the Colosseum when we went to Rome. Do you reckon you'd have been in there against a tiger or two back in the day, La? Yeah, I do. I said this when we was in there. I was looking down at like the Colosseum saying, it's funny because 2,000 years ago probably would have been in here fighting with someone else or trying to kill a tiger or getting an elephant set on me or something. Picture of me and Bruce Buffer. Did you say please when you asked for this photo? Of course, I expected it anyway, but I'll be honest, I was 16. It looks funny looking back at that picture now. Like, I'm 16 years of age there, stood with Bruce Buffer where I've asked him for a picture. He's now announcing me out when I fight. Quite surreal, really. Next. Quora? What's Quora? I've never even heard of that. Why do some people from and born in Liverpool say they are not English? The reason that gets said, Scouse not English, we're just a completely different type of people, to be honest. The people from Liverpool, Scousers, are more Irish than English, I'd say that, but it comes from years ago, stuff like the Hillsborough disaster, and before that, the government tried to put our city into a managed decline. They literally wrote a letter saying, let's put this city in a managed decline. We don't want it to be there no more. They don't listen to us, so let's run it into the ground. And then obviously years later, the Hillsborough disaster happened with Liverpool Football Club, and 97 of our fans died, and the government tried to pin it on our fans and said it was our fans' fault, when it wasn't. It was the police's fault. Bad organisation. It was their fault 97 people died. No one's still ever been convicted over that. People still to this day sing murderers at us every week when I go to watch Liverpool, so that's one of the main reasons why I say it. If you could fight any celebrity, which one would you choose? If I could choose any celebrity to fight, me and Elon are beating Mark Zuckerberg up, aren't we? Know what I'm saying? I'll be there in Elon's corner, so we can muff the Zuck. Posted. Why is it normal to see undefeated boxing records, but not on UFC? Because we don't get protected all the way through. For years with boxing, people say, oh, he'll beat him, he'll beat him, he'll beat him. And they don't fight for years. Where in the UFC, if you say, he'll beat him, Dana will just go, boom, use a fighting. And they do the fights that people want to see. That's why boxing's half dying out, I think, to be honest, because, you know, you've got Tyson Fury fighting Francis Ngannou instead of fighting Musk and unifying the heavyweight division. You wouldn't see that in the UFC, lad. Just that simple. The best fight the best. Posted. Ready. That's one I've heard of. Heard of Ready. What would be a fair pay for UFC fighters? Paddy Pimblett says he makes more money outside the UFC. Yeah, I think a lot of people probably do make a lot more money outside the UFC. I make more money outside the UFC because of my sponsors and stuff like that, but in the UFC you get paid what you're worth. You always see people giving Dana grief and giving people grief and stuff like that. You get paid what you're worth. I got a nice payday for my last fight because I'm worth it. All these crabs in the UFC who are getting 12 and 12, you're obviously not worth it. Work a bit harder, show a bit of personality. Let's check Twitter. Paddy Pimblett using his stage to preach eliminating the stigma around men's mental health. How can you not love this guy? I wish everyone loved me. I'm a bit of a polarising figure, to be honest. You either love me or you hate me. That's the way it's been lately, but everyone always mentions this to me, what I said about men's mental health. That's just me speaking from the heart. I hate it when I see stuff online, oh, he's using that again. It's nothing to do with that. I say it because I've struggled with it myself. I know if I can struggle with it, then anyone who's got a 9 to 5 or who's got a trade or anything like that, they're going to struggle with it. It's called being human, wanting people to be nice to each other. Well, yeah, if you just want to know anything more about what I'm trying to do to help decide the mental health, obviously, go and check the Baddy Foundation. One place I do tell people to go to, especially young men in the UK, because there's a couple of these centres now in the UK, is James's place, which is a place for young men to go and to speak to people. They won't just fob you off and say we've got no appointments. They'll get you fitted in with an appointment within 2 weeks. I've sent several men there who've messaged me and DM'd me on social media, and they're now messaging me after it saying they're in such a better place and they can't thank me enough. So James's place, get there. Yeah, Paddy Pimblett, has Drake ever been in touch after the Rolex? Nah, I don't think he has. I don't think I've spoke to him since, to be honest. That Rolex is still just there, sitting in the box. I've never worn it. Not my style of Rolex. As we've just been talking about the Baddy Foundation, that is what that watch is going to go to. The watch what Drake bought me is going to get auctioned off for my charity. If you want to buy that watch, what Drake bought, Paddy The Baddy, keep an eye out the next couple of months, because that will be getting auctioned, so funds can go to my charity. The reason we got the Rolex is when we won in July, me and Molly, we both won. Drake was DMing, I think it was Molly. Molly just said, you getting us a Rolex there or something? And he said, yeah. And then literally when I was in the States a couple of months later, we was just watching a UFC, and we were watching Edwards versus Usman actually. When Edwards knocked Usman clean out, some woman just walked in with a pair of white gloves on and a Rolex box. Handed me a Rolex. It's like, you're sound, you girl. Did Paddy The Baddy ever squash the beef with Ariel Helwani? No, never. Probably never will. He's a piece of shit. I'm probably the worst person to ask about how to deal with conflicts in life, lad, because I just hit them head on. I just start arguing, especially when someone starts it. I can't help it. Just saw that when I bounced that hand sanitizer off that little mushroom's head. He started it, I finished it. Thank you very much for watching.